Welcome to a Sacred Space podcast. I'm your host, Katie Smith. If you're ready to get organized, love your body, and fully connect with your soul, then this is the place for you. Listen in as I discuss all things home, body, and soul, and how to create space in our lives for joy, love, and deep connection. Let's get started. Hello, lovelies. So real quick today, this is going to be kind of a short one. I just want to talk about some very simple practices you can do to boost your confidence. Recently, I found out that the reason I felt like my confidence was so low, or like I have social anxiety or any of these things, was because I had little to no self-trust. And you wouldn't think that the two go together, but they do. Like, it's so crazy how much these two things go hand in hand. So, this is what I started doing. I realized that the reason I had little to no self-trust is because I constantly break my promises to myself. And I think this is where people go wrong with like the whole like New Year's resolution thing, because we make these grand promises to ourselves and they're so huge usually. It's like there's no possible way we could keep those, and we usually don't end up keeping them. And what ends up happening is that we erode our self-trust. With every promise that we break, we erode our self-trust. And essentially, that erodes our self-confidence. So this is what I figured out. I figured out that if I make I might have these big goals, okay? But I'm not promising that I'm going to get these giant goals done in like such and such period of time. Like, I do not do that, because I learned that I won't. And there'll be too much pressure around it, and then I won't do it. And then, bam, there goes my trust and my confidence down the drain. So this is what I've done. This is what I started doing, and it's amazing. So I make little tiny adjustments, okay? Like one new thing I can add in each week that's a small step towards my growth and expansion that I know I can keep, or at least have some belief that I can keep it. Okay. So it started with, coming up with a new morning routine. The morning routine I had for like 2 years, it just wasn't working for me anymore. And that happens, but I need to have a morning routine. So, I needed a new one. So I, put that out there to the universe, to God, like I need a new morning routine. And I tried different things, not super consistently, but then eventually I found, this amazing thing, and I will do a podcast episode on it, but, I found, my morning routine, which is truth journaling. And then I do some yoga too, anywhere from like 10 to 20 minutes or so after that. Okay, so this has become my new morning routine. It is something that I love doing. It is something that I can commit to and keep my promise to do. Now, it's not to say that like on a Saturday or a Sunday, I just don't do it. That's okay. Like I'm not breaking that promise to myself, because I'm doing it more consistently than not. And that's the whole point. And you can also just set like, okay, I'm going to do this 5 days a week. I'm going to do yoga 5 days a week. I'm going to, journal every morning, 3 days a week or whatever. So it doesn't have to be, it just needs to be consistent. That's the whole point. Consistency equals, a routine that you are committed to. If there isn't consistency in it, you're not committed to it. And I think that that's really the whole point. But the consistency is up to you. So, anyways, so that's what I started doing. It has made a huge difference. I have been able to add on even more things one at a time, doing yoga more consistently. For the first time in my life, I've actually like stuck with an exercise routine because I made it small. Like I do it at night and I do it in the morning, and I made it to where it's like, okay, the nightly yoga I do every single night for the most part, but I only commit to 3 to 5 days a week on the morning yoga. So, but I've been able to do that, which has made me feel a lot better. And so this has changed like a lot of areas of my life. Like I, have studied and been in holistic health for like over 12 years, but I kind of tend toward like, I like to snack. I'm not big on like eating super healthy. I think it's all mental. But I know that sometimes that's damaging to me, and I know that I could eat healthier. But see, one of the things that I was going through is because I had eroded my self-trust and my confidence so badly that I didn't have any drive to eat healthy. And so since I've started this truth journaling and the yoga and these writing out things I'm grateful for every single night, like these little routines that I have, these little things, they're small things, okay, that I've committed to doing consistently. Okay, now I'm eating healthier. I'm not letting myself go hungry for a long time. I'm listening to my body more. I'm able to respond to myself better. Like it's changed things in other areas of my life that literally have nothing to do with these promises that I made to myself. My creativity levels have like skyrocketed. My energy levels are higher, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so all these different things have started happening by making tiny, small promises to myself that I do consistently, and that that aren't overwhelming to me. They're like things that I enjoy. Now, that's not to say that like those routines or those promises that you've made won't change, but as long as you have something to replace them that's new and that you feel good about, and that you're, again, doing consistently, that's the whole point. So it's not that if you realize this certain thing you've been doing is no longer serving you, that's breaking a promise to yourself. That's not what it is. It's a matter of just simply having a goal, breaking it down into small pieces, and keeping your promise to do those pieces consistently. So I just want to throw that out there today. Like I said, really short. If you guys have questions about that or you want more information, please go to my website, sacredspacewithkatie.com. You can schedule a free call with me there on the contact page, and I'd be happy to discuss more of this with you. And I will do like a more in-depth podcast episode on it at a later date as well. All right, loves, talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad you chose to join me today. Don't forget to subscribe so you get all the latest episodes right away. And if you love what you hear, leave me a review so that more people can hear it too. You can also register for updates at sacredspacewithkatie.com/podcast. Be sure to check out my website while you're there for all the great resources and free stuff. Have a beautiful day, gorgeous. See you soon.